Buff Nation.
Squad.
Buff Nation.
Squad. Can you not hear me, bro?
Hello, Buff Nation.
Squad.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you again.
I guess I'm going to have to carry the show.
Hold on, Scotty. Tell the people what's up. Tell them what's up. I'll be right back.
What's going on, everybody? We having some a little bit of a technical difficulties on this Monday morning. We're going to get it squared away, though, I'm sure. It's your boy, Scotty Banzer, though, holding it down. Everybody says that Logan says he can hear me. YF Mike said he can hear both of y'all. So, yeah, looks like Jake's loading back in here in a second. You good now, bro?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I think so. What's up?
I'm doing good. Yeah, the chat was saying that they can hear both of us loud and clear. So,
look, man, we're in a virtual studio. We're facing virtual problems. I don't know what else to say.
Hey, man. Hey, we figured it out, though. We good now. How you feeling on this Monday morning, brother?
Could be better. Could be worse. That loss still sucks. I haven't watched a single thing from the game. There's nothing to take away from it, really. From the actual football, that is. But can't complain. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, it's a new week. It's a beautiful day out here in Denver. I'm glad to be back here in Colorado after spending a few days out there in good old Utah. But you know, I think there are some things to talk about coming out of that game. One thing, if we can just hop right into it, right?
Yeah.
One thing that stood out to me, and obviously we didn't get to talk too much about the post-game pressure during our post-game show because, you know, we had just came from it. You know, the quotes hadn't really come out. Videos hasn't really been uploaded and whatnot. But one of the things that Coach Prime talked about after the game or was asked about that I think is the most revealing part of that game and that post-game pressure was when Coach Prime was talking about how often Colorado's offense was blitzed. Coach Prime goes, they blitzed us to death. They're still blitzing us right now and we inside. And guess what? I just told them to be ready for it next week. Cat's out the bag. Be ready for it. And that is something that was Utah's plan. After the game, Kyle Whittingham, Utah head coach, said as much. He pretty much said that they sent a lot of blitzes, particularly run blitzes on early downs, because if Colorado's offense was going to beat Utah, they were going to have to do it through the air. They were going to have to do it through the passing game. They were going to have to do it through the right arm of Kaidon Salter. And clearly that game plan for Utah worked perfectly to a T. They stopped the run on early downs. Colorado's run game was absolutely invisible. Colorado running backs, I believe, rushed for, let's call it 46 yards on 18 carries. That's 2.5 yards per attempt. Kaidon was obviously a non-factor with his legs, even after Kyle Whittingham said last week that was one of the biggest things they were worried about, quarterback run. That was an invisible part of this game as well. But Coach Prime talked about it. He goes, the cat's out of the bag, right? You blitz this team, you force them into obvious passing situations, third and long. They haven't proved that they have answers to that. Kaidon Salter hasn't proved that he has answers for pressure, for blitzes, whether it's a hot, getting the ball out of your hands, whether it's adjusting protection pre-snap or finding answers post-snap. And that is as much on Kaidon Salter as it is on the offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, equipping your quarterback with the answers when heavy pressure is coming, when blitzes are coming, when they're sending extra guys or maybe even more guys than you can bring. And Kaidon talked about it after the game. He goes, quote, I watched over 10 hours of film, and a lot of the pressures that came up today was nowhere to be found on tape. I felt like today they schemed up the pressures just for us, for this game, and no other team they might see that other than us. And I don't know if that's completely true in terms of Utah scheming up blitzes specifically for Colorado. Maybe it is true. That happens, right? Sometimes you see something on film that you're like, we're going to put something in for this opponent. That obviously happens. But clearly, Kaidon straight up admitted it. Utah did some things defensively, pressure-wise, blitz-wise, that he was straight up not prepared for. And like I said earlier, that falls as much on Kaidon Salter as much on Pat Shurmur. And one final thing, talking about the cat's out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag when it comes to Caden Salter under pressure. He doesn't see the field well passing the ball, particularly when he's under pressure, particularly when he's under duress. His numbers, according to Pro Football Focus this season, Caden Salter, when he is under pressure, he's completing 24% of his passes, Jake. 1 passing touchdown, 3 interceptions, 7 turnover-worthy plays, 14 throwaways. So pretty much when he's under pressure, you might as well chalk that up as a negative play. And Utah put it all on display. The book is out. The cat's out the bag, however you want to put it. Arizona comes to Folsom Field this weekend. And remember, I told you a couple weeks ago, that Arizona defense is legit.
Yeah.
They're allowing opposing quarterbacks to complete only 51% of their passes. That's top in the Big 12. Expect a lot of blitz, expect a lot of heavy pressure, and we'll see if Caden Salter and Pat Shurmur have answers for it this weekend moving forward.
I mean, the stats are even worse when you just look at the Utah splits when he was blitzed. 24 dropbacks against the blitz, 17 passing attempts, four completions for 20 yards, 1 interception. That quote, I can't stand that quote from Caden Salter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We had a coach on our pregame show talking about self-scouting. If you watch 10 hours of film, I'm sorry, like you should have kind of picked up on more of this stuff. We should have been more prepared. And it's not all on Caden, it's on the offensive coordinator too.
For sure.
The offensive coordinator has to prepare Caden Salter. There were no counters to anything that you could have even thought Utah was doing. You had an extra week to look at yourself, look at Utah, to really scheme some things up. I don't think they did have a few shot plays schemed up where Quentin Gibson's just wide open in the middle of the field and Caden misses him.
Yep.
But other than that, really, I mean, where was any layup for this team from the offensive coordinator in that game? There were no counters again, and yeah, it's just, if the blitz is coming, it's just going to be a negative play. He might as well just take off as soon as he gets the ball in those situations, because that's a better chance at a positive play than it is with him dropping back and passing the ball in those situations. So that's just bad, man. That's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, this team was just so unprepared on both sides of the ball in every facet of the game in all 3 phases, and it's just a damn shame to be that unprepared with an extra week to prepare. Extra week for preparation, extra week to scout into game plan, and that was the result. And it just almost makes you just shake your head and almost chuckle a little bit when you consider Kyle Whittingham saying that our game plan was to bring the blitz and force them to throw the football. And coincidentally, Colorado's top 2 receivers don't play the entire first half. So you almost as an offense, again, unbeknownst maybe to you played right into Utah's game plan. They wanted you to throw the ball, and you didn't even have your top 2 receivers on the field. Now, we can talk about the discipline thing we talked about earlier after the game. Like, you can have your opinion about that. Obviously, those 2 guys, and JoJo, didn't do what was expected of them as teammates, as pillars of that program, and they were reprimanded for that. There are consequences to that. But like I said, it just when the score is 53-7, there are just so many reasons that's a result, and some of them were even just like that, where it's like you just played right into their hand, and that's unfortunate. And again, when you lose by 46 points, when you're down 43-0 at half, those are the type of things that lead to it.
Look, Caden Salter had 37 passing yards. He had -4 rushing yards. He had 33 yards in that game. Something's got to be done. This just can't go on. And it's crazy because I said that, I feel like 3 weeks ago against TCU, and we're just still here. That's part of my frustration, honestly. I feel like I've said everything I could possibly say about this team already. The same things just keep on happening. And now they're happening all at the same time. And then you get results like this, 53-7, when that happens. It's the exact opposite of what happened 2 weeks ago when everything was working and everything was working. That's what it looks like when it works. This is what it looks like when it completely falls apart. So, I mean, yeah, I until something changes, I really don't know what else to say. I really don't. I feel like I've said it all.
We kind of have said it all. We kind of sound like a broken record. We sound like we're talking about the same games. Um, like I said a lot Saturday, that game felt a lot like the Alamo Bowl, with multiple weeks of preparation, and you just look completely inept from the opening kickoff. I mean, you let a true freshman quarterback take a run 63 yards to the crib on the second play from scrimmage. And I was just rewatching that play on loop, I think yesterday, because again, it's the second play of the game, dude. And Reggie Hughes out of position, Ben Finnisseth out of position, Ivan Yates out of position, and just gets thrown to the ground. I mean, that's it. It's just like from the opening, the team didn't show up in Salt Lake City.
No,
the team straight up
in any
didn't
way.
show up.
Yeah.
In all three phases. I mean, you give up a safety, you give up a fake punt, you shank a punt that leads to points. Exactly. I mean, everything that could have gone wrong in that game, from a preparation, from a scheme standpoint, from execution standpoint, went horribly wrong. And again, that type of game is bad in any sense, but it just makes it 100 times worse when it's coming off a bye. It just really does.
Yep.
So, it's tough.
I saw people asking in the chat if anything's going to happen with the staff or anything. At this point, I would be surprised if something happens before this game on Saturday.
So would I.
So
would I.
That's all. I don't have I have nothing else to say about this game, bro. I'm sorry.
I don't really either. I think that was kind of all I had to get out about it. Was that it's going to be the game plan for the next four opponents that you see. They're going to bring heavy blitz and heavy pressure. They're going to leave receivers one-on-one, and they're going to make Caden throw the ball and win with his arm. And if he can't do it, if he isn't equipped with the answers to combat the blitz, to combat pressure, I wonder if Julian Lewis can. And I think he can. And I think he will if given the opportunity. But
I think so too. We'll see it when it happens, though.
Correct.
I mean, yeah.
We got a game time,
we'll
though.
Coach Prime tomorrow.
We got a game time. That news dropped today. Obviously, we know that this week's game for homecoming, the Arizona game, kicks off at 5 o'clock local time, 5 o'clock Mountain, which means obviously 7 o'clock Eastern, which is, I don't see, isn't too bad. We knew that last week, though. But today, the Big 12 announced that next week's game, Week 11 game at West Virginia, kicks off at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. noon Eastern Time. So the first kind of morning kickoff, at least for Colorado time, of the season. And first game not this season, first game not on national television, because it'll air on TNT. And this is the consequences of actions.
Exactly. That's what happens. I mean, you lose games, you lose bad enough, people aren't going to want to watch you. You're going to get put in bad TV slots on bad networks. That's just how it works.
Yeah. I appreciate the early kickoff, though. I'll tell you that much. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't even complain about that, though. Like,
no.
Anything else? The Buffs before we move on?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all I really had.
Yeah, we'll talk to Coach Prime tomorrow. We'll see what he says. And then we have a game on Saturday. LSU, they've finally done it. Probably one of the weirdest matches overall, or fits overall. You hear that word a lot when you talk about this this situation with Brian Kelly and LSU, that word fit. And it was pretty apparent from early on, the fake accent, the cringy recruiting videos. Like, it's just, he's just
that recruiting video, bro. He really gave us a gem with that video, though, of him on the turnstile thing with the player, bro. That is going to go down in college football history, for real.
Yeah. So yeah, they made the decision last night in a weird way they did it too. They have a team meeting, people are coming and going. Brian Kelly shows up for a few minutes, immediately leaves. Then Nussmeier shows up. No one has any idea what's going on over there. But it was just they really avoided, I think, using the word fired. they're using this like a separation of sides or whatever. Clearly this has massive national impact on the carousel, on recruiting and all that too. So but yeah, 49-25 loss to Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a really good team. um but yeah, I mean, LSU is kind of looking down the barrel of a lost season at this point too, with two SEC losses. Your thoughts, Scotty?
I mean, LSU, that football program, that state don't play. They don't play about them Tigers. If I think I saw a stat or heard a stat that the last three coaches at LSU won a national title within their first 3 years at the school. And obviously, I believe this is year 3 for Brian Kelly. And they say, hey, this is the standard. If you ain't meeting it, you got to go. And it's not that this isn't a team that isn't capable of winning a national championship this year, because they're not. This is not even a playoff team. This is not even the top of the, top upper echelon SEC team. And that's a shame,
100%.
considering that all the hype surrounding Garrett Nussmeier coming into the season, and we talk about it at some points this season, is inept as they have been offensively. That LSU defense is good. So if you
Yeah,
got a good defense and you
very
got
good.
on paper somebody who should be, an NFL caliber quarterback, and we're sitting at the results that you've seen, it's kind of a no-brainer, especially when, like you said, the fit never really made sense. Brian Kelly in Louisiana, Brian Kelly, down there, So I don't know. I saw another stat too. It's just crazy, just the state of college football at this point, about all the coaches who have been fired. College football teams are on the hook for over $160 million, $169 million in buyouts so far just this season.
The
Between,
system's
Brian.
broken.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
bro.
broken.
$170 million in buyouts just so far this season. With Kelly, James Franklin, Napier, Gundy, Sam Pittman at Arkansas, Foster, the Virginia Tech coach, the Oregon State coach, Trent Dilfer, and even Jay Norvell with his $1.5 million buyout. It's crazy. And the pressure is just ramped up, man. My mom even caught a video yesterday from Saturday's game of Brian Kelly just spazzing on his players, on his coordinators, and it just reeks of a dude who just knows that, yeah, he finna get canned. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the
Yeah.
expectations, the pressure with all the money surrounding college football, particularly these high-end coaches right now, the pressure is crazy. And if you're not delivering, man, you're going to be out that door.
And that pressure is going to start to trickle up. These ADs and these, regents and all these boards who are starting to sign these contracts. I mean, I get trying to lock a guy down long term. We've seen the what in terms of recruiting and all that, right? So I understand when you have a security, what that does to the program, but you're in these terrible positions. So the ADs are going to start coming under fire from all this stuff. Going back to Brian Kelly, though, I mean, this guy. When I think of Brian Kelly, I think of someone who really is good offensively, or at least I thought. Right? You had a
Yeah,
Heisman Trophy
I
winner a
thought
couple
so.
years ago in Jaden Daniels, and I think Jaden Daniels did take a step under Brian Kelly that last year. But Garrett Nussmeier has kind of regressed. Um, I still think he's one of the best pure throwers of the football in terms of eligible draft quarterbacks in this draft class, and they have weapons. It's LSU, but for whatever reason, they can't run the football and they can't get anything going offensively. That there alone is enough to, I think, cause to fire Brian Kelly. I mean, he's supposed to
For
have this
sure.
offense going, and they can't. And from the first game, I mean, he had that blow up on the reporter.
Yeah.
Who'd they play?
Yeah.
Was that they
Was
played
that the
Georgia or
Florida game?
something? Florida or whoever it was. I
Because
think
I
it
thought it was a
was.
game that they won, but the
And
reporter was pissed about them not playing
yes,
well enough in the win. Right.
exactly, and they break that one big run late in that game to kind of and that Kelly stood on when that question came up to him. So,
Right.
um, he's just whatever the word is for beyond being a crash out. That's what Brian Kelly is.
Mhm.
I can't imagine how much stress comes from working under him with him alongside him, because I mean clearly the pressure is mounting up, but he just got way too over his skis. Honestly, he had a great thing going at Notre Dame, got pissed off with the academic restrictions and all that stuff, and wanted to go coach with the best and all that. That's what he said, and this is what happens. I mean, the arrogance of these coaches it knows no bounds, honestly.
And it's crazy. You mentioned the ADs feeling pressure and whatnot, and the pressure kind of rising to them. Did you see that the AD who hired Jimbo Fisher at A&M, who ended up firing him with that massive buyout, is the same AD now at LSU
Yep.
who hired and now fired Brian Kelly? I mean, how you keep getting in these positions where you can just hire and fire these dudes with these crazy numbers and it's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how are those guys not under more scrutiny? Like, you are the one who is
Yes,
actually making these decisions, man.
exactly.
So
Crazy.
I don't know. I mean, that AD clearly has blood on his hands from multiple massive buyouts. So we'll see what happens there at LSU. But I mean, again, yeah, there's just the system of college football is broken. We're throwing out all this money for coaches, all these buyouts, and the players just they get to kind of do whatever they want. Now they're changing the rules. It's just there's no control. There's no control in this sport at all.
Nope.
But yeah, this is massive for the coaching carousel. Obviously, LSU, one of the better recruiting teams in the country at this point. We'll see what happens. The portal's not open for them with the firing now, which I guess doesn't really matter because it's in season anyway, and a lot of these guys have already played more than 4 games. But um, it's going to be a lot of movement in terms of recruiting, transfer portal, and stuff this offseason with all these coaching firings and hirings. And again, we're not even halfway through. We're halfway through the season. I'm sure there's more coaches who are going to be fired. But the carousel hasn't even started. Once coaches start getting hired and, guys are bringing their players with them and all that, this is just going to be chaos for the next 3-4 months.
Is LSU the most attractive opening right now in college football?
So who else would be up there? Florida is up there. I'd say LSU is more attractive than Florida. It's
Penn
definitely more
State.
attractive than Penn State. So yeah, for sure. Lane Kiffin's name keeps on coming up. And
if I was one of these, if I was a Penn State, if I was LSU, that is the guy that I'm trying to get. That is the guy that I'm trying to get. And if I can't get him, then I'm trying to get the Vanderbilt coach, Clark Lee.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Totally. The USF coach, I think, is going to get a big job or some big offers.
Especially if do you know if that quarterback, the USF quarterback, has eligibility left? Because if that's a package deal with Golesh, the USF coach, and that quarterback, like that might actually skyrocket to the top of the, you know what I'm saying? Because if you can get the quarterback with the coach, that might be the most attractive situation for one of these teams looking for or with a vacancy. Okay, Kaman says that Byram is his last year. Okay.
Yeah, it says he's a senior, but he did redshirt his first year in 22. He's only actually played 23, 24, now 25. So he could graduate. He could graduate, be a grad transfer, and he'd have 1 year. But I don't know if he's graduated already, though, is the thing, too. So,
right.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Really
Clark Lee's going to get a job. I mean, and honestly, he may not actually. If they get Jared Curtis, if they flip him from Georgia, why would he leave? Why would he leave?
I do think that's unlikely, though, but it would be crazy just in terms of unlikely of them actually landing or flipping Curtis from Georgia. But you never know.
For sure. I mean, he's showing up to the game this weekend. He's wearing like Vanderbilt stuff on the sideline at his high school game. Like he's clearly interested. We went through this with Julian last year. Like this is exactly what happened with him. So
for sure.
I mean, we'll see. I think you could potentially build a program and win at Vanderbilt, though.
He's doing it.
Crazy. You're in the SEC. Yeah, you have a new stadium now. This coach is rolling. What Diego is doing is like what Shador kind of did for this program last year in terms of proving that, like, hey, you can kind of come here and do whatever you want if you have the talent. So, yeah, it's going to be fascinating. And again, more firings are going to come through, I'm sure. We're not even in November yet.
Facts. Stay tuned.
Big 12?
Let's get it.
Let's start with BYU Iowa State. Tight game up until what was it, late third quarter, fourth quarter. Iowa State fumbles that punt return.
Mhm.
Um, and
The
after that,
cheese,
I mean,
Jake. The
Bear just went.
cheese.
Look, but hold on though, Scotty, because the cheese was on the Ravens this weekend too. And what did you learn from that?
That don't even
Or the
count
cheese was
for
on the
real, bro.
Bears, I
Why?
should say.
Look at you trying to change the
Yes,
subject.
it
We talking
does.
about the Big 12, and you talking about the Bears, bro. Ain't nobody thinking about the Bears right now, bro. Watch out, bro. Damn.
We had these talks all week. You're like, bro, this line is not moving away from the Ravens. They
Bro,
knew.
that blew me, bro. I couldn't believe that, bro. Jesus Christ. But yeah, bro,
But yeah,
BYU is really
go
like
ahead.
that, bro. Bear Bachmeyer is
Yes.
really like that. I'm almost ready to say at this point, we'll talk about when we get to Texas Tech. Oh, Will Hammond is out for the year. I'm almost ready to say that BYU is going to win the Big 12 this year.
It's starting to look like that.
I'm almost ready to say that. And I don't know if they're going to go undefeated. I don't think they're going to go undefeated, but I think they're my pick right now to win the Big 12 this year and make the playoff.
I mean, so they have Texas Tech this weekend at Texas Tech, massive game.
Oh wow! See, they get them. Wow! See, they get them right after. You know what I'm saying? Right after Hammond's out, we'll see. I'm sure Morton is going to be back, and it seems like he's been working his way back to health. That's in Lubbock.
In Lubbock, then they go to then they have TCU at home at Cincy, which is a big game too right now, and then versus UCF to end the season. So they've got some games to get through. Like,
What's the
I
game
think
between Tech and Cincy?
TCU. That's, I mean, it's at home, but TCU.
Yeah, no, it's not a sweet game.
They barely beat West Virginia. They get by them, but TCU is kind of hot and cold week to week, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Iowa State. I think it's just the injuries have become too much. You know, they got some guys back on that defensive line, and they really hung in there strong for 3 quarters. They look like the better team for 2.5, 3 quarters, and then the mistakes just started piling it up. And then, you know, Bear just outplayed Rocco. Bear's going to be so good if he can stay healthy. He's taking some hits, man. He's a big guy, but if that guy stays healthy, he's going to be a problem for the next years.
Yeah, they kind of got to chill in terms of, like, I get it. That's his best attribute right now is him kind of running the football and them using the quarterback power, going 11 on 11. But they kind of got to chill with using him in the run game and trying to limit taking these hits. And they honestly need to learn a little bit from their rivals at Utah, because I think Utah kind of got in trouble using Devin Dampier a little bit too much in the run game earlier this year. And obviously he got banged up as a result of it. Obviously they were fine because they had a true freshman quarterback that can just, you know, bring off the bench who can run for 150 yards. But still, I think BYU needs to be a little bit more careful with Bear for the long term, considering, like I said, he's still such a young guy. But
yep. Well, LJ Martin leaving that game doesn't help too. I don't know what his status is. We'll find out. So, we'll see. I mean, BYU, they've played very well to this point. They are undefeated, but their toughest tests are probably coming in the future here. Since he keeps rolling, this game was close early, or close-ish at times. Baylor made a little bit of a comeback, and then Cincinnati really just put the pedal to the metal, and they put 21, or they win by 21, 41-20. It's over for Baylor. You know, credit to Sawyer for what he does. He goes out there every week and he tries his best, but he's getting killed at this point.
I think I saw today that I think I saw today that they parted ways with their offensive line coach. Baylor did, like, he's no longer with the program. So it's that time of the year, man, where changes are being made.
For sure. Sorsby, again, really didn't do anything crazy. Cincinnati just rushed for 265 yards as a team on 50 carries. That's how you win in this conference. It's pretty
just a solid team.
Yeah. But the recipe to win the Big 12 is just, it's so straightforward. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn it. I just closed my tab. K-State, they woke up and Sunflower Showdown, right? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, for my hammer. Gave me my golden hammer for the week. Let's go.
Congrats. Nothing really to talk about that game. ASU, though, against Houston. Houston sitting at 3-2 in the conference, but I mean they're 6-2
6-1,
overall.
7-1, or
Or I'm sorry,
6-2.
they're 4-1. 4-1 in the conference, 7-1
Oh,
overall. I was looking at Utah.
yeah.
They're now the 22nd ranked team in the country.
Bro, I saw somebody tweeted over the weekend that they could be playing in the Big 12 championship game, bro.
Absolutely.
Like they are very live to be playing for a conference championship in about a month. And that is shout out Goonsville. You know how you're rocking, man. But that is crazy. There was somebody all off season trying to tell me that Houston would be a good team. It's I can't really think of it right now. It's eluding my memory, but that guy might have knew ball. But this Houston team is solid, bro. And I do know for a fact that I was the only one to pick Houston to cover this weekend. But that guy this offseason who was telling me Houston was a good football team, that guy knew what he was talking about.
Just a serious ball knower. Houston, to round out the stretch here, listen to this. Home versus West Virginia, at UCF versus TCU, at Baylor. Houston, just saying.
They 11, bro. If them boys go 11-1, gang, which is completely, even if they go 10-2, say they lose one of those four that you just mentioned, 10-2 would even still be a crazy good season and still might get them in the Big 12 championship game.
100%.
Shout out to Willie Fritz, man.
He's a program builder, bro.
He is. And to do it at Houston, I mean, hats off.
They got a 5-star coming in next year too. I mean, that program,
Yeah,
man, what really Fritz has done in just 2 years is really impressive.
It is.
God damn, I just closed my tab again. Hold on. But ASU, I don't know what happened in this game. Jeff Sims was like in the game at the start for some reason. He threw 11 passes.
I think Levy got banged up, and then Levy came back in at the end of the game.
Yeah. No Jordan Tyson, it looks like, though.
Yeah, Arizona's now 5-3, 3-2 in the Big 12. They're might be over with for them this year at least.
Yep. I mean, someone's gonna lose in this TTU Cincinnati game coming up here relatively soon. That's this weekend, right? Is that this weekend? But
no.
Or I'm sorry, BYU Texas Tech. That's the game, right?
Yes.
So someone's gonna lose there. If Texas Tech loses, that's the case for Houston, obviously, and Utah not dead. But what else do we have? I think that might be it, actually.
Other than TCU, West Virginia, that nobody cares about. Yeah.
Oh, Oklahoma State is just dead. It's just a dead body. It's been cold for about a month now. They lose 42-0 to Texas Tech. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Who wants to go there? You just fired the most successful coach in program history. They are not embracing like the new era of college. They only went to the transfer portal this year. Clearly didn't work. Recruiting's just got to be in the garbage can after the last 2 years. Who's going to take that job?
Nobody. In the words of Keith Sweat. For real, though. I mean, that's just going to be...
Someone obviously will, but...
Yeah, somebody. Yeah. But no, it's somebody will, but they're going to be a nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to get somebody in there. Somebody who we ain't too familiar with. You know what I'm saying?
Unless they just get desperate, throw a bag at like James Franklin or something.
No way Jimmy Franklin goes there, dude.
Who knows?
Way. I can see him.
Brian Kelly.
Yeah. See, they're not going to get one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? They're not.
But who is going to want those guys? Brian Kelly specifically.
Brian Kelly need to go to UCLA.
People are telling me my Wi-Fi sucks and my camera sucks. So if there's super chats, let's just get them up and let's get out of here.
Yeah, they're not lying either.
I don't see any though. Oh, sorry. Someone asked me about Max. Yeah, he got screwed yesterday. That was brutal.
Did he? Damn.
Yeah.
Come on, Debbie. You know I know about Keith. Come on now.
Wait, real quick, while we're here, before we go, because I know we have some Cowboys fans in the house. Who's your daddy? The Broncos own the Cowboys. It's crazy. I tried telling you too. This happens every time.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't rooting for the Cowboys or thought the Cowboys were going to win by any means. But yeah, you were saying that all week.
Shout out Neely. He's grieving now. The Cowboys and the Buffs. Okay. We'll be out of here. We'll be back tomorrow in studio. We'll have a Coach Prime presser. Do you have any final words?
See y'all tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow at School Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.